Shirole, if you can hear me. You have to unmute yourself, Mr. Arun Shirole.
Mina?
Yeah, yes,
Okay,
you can.
all right. Thank you, everybody. This is good morning to those in India and good evening to all those in US. Few people have still been awake attending this celebration. And I'm glad that you asked me to say a few words here this evening, this morning for you. As we celebrate Transportation Research Group's Decennial, Transportation Research Board's recent centennial meeting comes to mind. TRB was originally started with National Research Council's Division of Engineering and then the Federal Bureau of Public Roads convening organizational meeting for the Advisory Board on Highway Research. In 1921, Highway Research Board, HRB, now transitioned into TRB, came into being with William Hatt as its first director. I've been involved in TRB for more than 50 years, very deeply involved. I believe that the genesis of TRB in US and TRG in India have some similarity in terms of their cooperative approach to stimulating research. For those who do not know, the Association of Transportation Professionals of Indian Origin, ATPIO, was established as a non-profit organization in US in 2004. ATPIO is focused on its strategic objective of facilitating bilateral collaborative activities and partnerships between diverse groups of transportation professionals in US and in India. It is only natural, therefore, for ATPIO to be an active collaborating partner of TRG ever since TRG was started in 2011. TRG's decennial is as good a time as any to review how ATPIO and TRG partnered together in various very productive activities over the past 10 years. This is what I propose to do here. In my opinion, there are 5 distinct and yet related areas wherein ATPIO and TRG have synergistically worked together. I will review these one by one. First, TRG's active participation in ATPIO annual meetings. TRB is well represented at ATPIO annual meetings, which are held in conjunction with TRB annual meetings in Washington, D.C. Presentations on TRG's past year and planned future activities are routinely made by TRG leadership at these meetings. These meetings also provided a venue for academics, practitioners, and graduate students from both countries to meet one-on-one to be able to discuss transportation-related topics and ongoing or proposed research of mutual interest. Second, free webinars on topics of current interest. TRG leadership communicates information on upcoming ATPIO webinars typically held twice a year to those in India. Under the ATPIO TRG agreement a few years ago, Dr. Ashish Verma made a joint webinar presentation on his research on Kumbh Mela. I sincerely hope we will have similar joint webinars in the future. Third, US-India Transportation Research Collaboration. One-on-one communications between ATPIO and TRG members have provided very tangible results, such as exchange of ideas, seminars and conference sessions, exchange of test beds, exchange of data collection technology, student exchange and internship programs, expanded choice of outside members for thesis committees and joint workshops or centers. It is particularly interesting to note that leveraging these activities and their recent record of successful joint research, ATPIO and TRG researchers from multiple universities have successfully won financial support for sponsored workshops and joint research centers. As you know, one of the surrogate measures of describing healthy exchange of research relationships is the resulting large number of joint quality publications. Fourth, ATPIO support of and participation in CTRGs. ATPIO has co-sponsored all biennial CTRGs to date and has designated one of its senior members to serve on TRG's conference planning committee. ATPIO members have actively participated in the review of submitted conference papers and have organized ATPIO sessions in these TRG conferences. In my judgment, Transportation Research Group has made a very significant contribution in bringing together transportation researchers in India. The number of attendees that we see at CTRGs is just one good indicator. Fifth, some specific areas of successful collaborative bilateral research. Over the past 10 years, ATPIO and TRG members have proactively collaborated in research, resulting in some very significant publications in the following 4 theme areas. A. Transportation challenges, strategies, and trends. B. Transportation investment decision making. C. Highway safety and incident or disaster management. And D. Transit and resource allocation. I think you'll agree with me when I say that with just these 5 distinct yet related areas, ATPIO and TRG have synergistically worked together and for mutual benefit. A very successful and productive 10 years indeed. Looking ahead, as TRG enters its second decennial, I sincerely hope it will proactively engage with practicing transportation professionals and public policymakers to bring into focus the much needed emphasis on systematic life cycle management of India's transportation infrastructure. You may want to note here that it took 30 years of interstate highway construction for the United States to do just this, a systematic life cycle approach. After all said and done, transportation infrastructure, whether it is in US or in India, involves huge investment in trillions of dollars or rupees. You got to protect it and you got to preserve it. Thank you, Professor Ashish Verma, and best wishes to the incoming president, Professor Akhilesh Maurya, and members of the new TRG board. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shirole, for sparing time and being awake in the night to join the meeting live. ATPIO's support right from beginning, right from the day we muted this idea, not just collective as a group, but also the strong support of the individual members of ATPIO, the whole transportation community in US has been so instrumental in not just helping us, guiding us in terms of how we we improve the overall research and capacity building in transportation in India, and of course accommodating us in your annual meetings, supporting the CTRGs. There's all been extremely valuable contributions, and we definitely take note of all the important suggestions that you have made, and hopefully the new executive board will take these points forward, and we look forward to have much more collaboration to take and sail through and take the TRG to newer heights, and in terms of achieving its objectives and goals much more firmly. Thanks again.